Yo, what is up guys, welcome back to another video here on my channel. We are here for my F1 22 My Team Career Mode episode number 4 for round 5 of the season. Let's get into it. So yes, we are here in the HQ, ready for the Miami Grand Prix for round number 5 of the season. If you did miss out the previous episode, it was an hour-long special posted about a week ago. And we did Australia and Imola, which if you didn't watch the video, then spoilers are coming. And yeah, so click the link in the top right hand corner if you did miss it, and watch that before you watch the rest of this one. But championship wise, Max Verstappen now leads the championship after taking the win last time out in the main race in Imola. And he also took the sprint race win as well, as we are still on 2 points, but we're in 15th place in the standings, I think, now. With Jack Aiken being last with not many good results. But if you missed out the end of the last video, we picked a rival, and we picked Lando Norris as our rival. So yeah, and our gearbox is pretty warm, but I think it would be good for practice. But before we get into the F1 stuff, we've got a Pirelli Hot Lap, and I'm going to show these for Season 1, but once I get done with Season 1, or if I do finish Season 1 before I get my PC, then I will do Season 2 on Xbox. But anyway, we're doing the autocross around Miami, and we're going to get 1 minute 18 for gold, 1 minute 22 for silver, and 1 minute 30 for bronze. So I kind of like the autocross, and also the supercars. I run no assists with the supercars, it's just the F1 cars. I have medium traction control on because I literally will spin out. But also just a quick disclaimer, they did record this about a week ago, so it was before the patch, the recent patch that got released yesterday, as I'm doing this voiceover. And they still haven't, Curdy still haven't fixed the AI OP straight line speed, and I don't think they are going to fix it, but we do hit a cone gate. So we've got a 5-second penalty. But now we come out the final corner of the autocross, and you think it's just straight line, but it's not. You gotta slow down. You got little chicanes, tight chicanes here. As yeah, this video will be shorter than the last one, but that's just because I've had to put 3 races into one video, which was very hard to do. But because we just about get the silver, but I think if we didn't hit that cone we would have got gold, which would have been good. I don't know why my helmet is like that. Why is my helmet like that? Okay. Anyway, we have passed. We got the silver with 1 gate hit, which isn't too bad to be fair. We have been getting bronzes in the past couple of Pirelli Hot Laps that we have been doing, and now we're going to move. Also, I'm now not going to be showing you practice, only because I just want to try to get these videos as short as possible. I want to try to show you more race action. But we've got 1,444 R&D points now. And after practice I'm going to change the gearbox and put a new gearbox in for qualifying. As now we head into the qualifying session, and we are set. I completely forgot to put the messages in. I did take screenshots of them, but there is a chance of rain in the race, so anyway, excuse me. Setup wise, we're running 818 on the wings, 50-50 on the transmission. Suspension geometry running -3, -1.5. Oh no, we're changing it. God's sake. I do like to change these, don't I? Anyway, I'm just trying to make it suitable for me, but the setup... Anyway, the setup that I've done is terrible anyway. Because I'm trying to do a wet setup. So, I'm trying to make it suit wet. But now as we head into the end of my first timed lap, we go a little bit wide into the final corner, just not quite getting the apex. As I have been struggling around here. But obviously it's my first time in career mode doing Miami with no racing line. But now we went... I can't remember where we went as I was talking, but we're now going to go on to a full, my best lap of the weekend, of qualifying. So out of the final corner you want to open up DRS across the line as you start your lap. Turn 1 you want to brake just as the curb appears. Just go a little bit wide as my wheel is now going robotic again as I've recorded this in such high temperature heat. Yeah, well, it was really hot in the UK, so that was probably why. But now as we go down into the twisty bits, we are up, so that is good. As we go a little bit, we've missed the apex by a crunchy mile. As now we go down the first back straight and open up the DRS. You want to stick to the left hand side as much as you can. I don't do that much, I bring it out wide, but that's fine. We're going to brake at the 100-meter board down to 4th gear. We missed the apex again, but we now go down to 3rd and up to 4th on the exit. As now we go down into the Mickey Mouse section. We're going to go down to 2nd temporarily and then straight back up to 3rd. We're going to keep it in 3rd for this whole section. I just got to remember to brake a little bit early. But yeah, as now we go down the back straight before the final corner. We do have a little bit of traffic ahead of us, but it's fine. We are 4 tenths up going into the final corner. We now go out final corner down to 3rd up to 4th and then across the line we're going to improve by about 5 tenths pretty much when we go P13, and the end of the session we do not get through. Well, 18 gets through in P18 and we get knocked out in P17. So yeah, AI obviously improving as Lando Norris still beat us in qualifying, so we are now already losing the rivalry at the moment. But now a claim, we are actually close to level 4 on our driver claim, and we're close to level 2 claim, but let's get into the Miami Grand Prix.
We're here in the coastal shores of Florida for the Miami Grand Prix, which has become the 11th Formula One track held in the United States. The grandstands are packed for what we hope is going to be another fantastic race. Well, it's certainly not sunny here in the Sunshine State. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 19 corners and 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium. But these conditions should prove especially difficult for all of our drivers today. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Perez, George Russell, and Magnussen, Bottas, Norris, Mick Schumacher, and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Jack Aitken, and Ricciardo, Stroll, Hamilton, they've taken a grid penalty, Davies, and Sebastian Vettel, Joe, Albon, Fernando Alonso, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway. Well, it's not going to be plain sailing for our drivers today, although with the sky falling as it is, perhaps sailing isn't too far from the truth. Anthony Davidson, could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature, and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Right then, so here we are then on the grid. Starting in P17, we've got Lewis Hamilton just ahead of us as he picked up a grid penalty. We're going to underfuel the car by 0.5 laps. It is Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen sharing the front row yet again, just like in real life, but now we head into the formation lap as can't remember where Jack Eakins is starting. I think he's starting a little bit ahead of us. So right now we start our formation lap, we get good traction, we get good traction out of there. We're going to immediately start warming up the tyres as now we're just trying to get the heat into the tyres, which we are doing. We're going to move the bias to 65% as always, as you even want to set the brake the differential to 65% even in the wet to get the traction down. But now we come to the end of the formation lap as I'm just trying to get some heat into the tyres, which we do, as we're now going to come to our grid slot and try to get a purple or a green, try not to get a fail parking. And I don't know why I'm pointing it sideways because racing line, but we failed, but the racing line is, we are literally on the racing line. So I don't know why I'm angling it, but we've been straightened up a little bit. As we now wait for the cars to all line up, and they are all lined up as now we go to 5 red lights for the Miami Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. We go straight up into second gear, straight up to fourth and up to fifth, and now just deploying the ERS. But we get straight ahead of Hamilton. We're going to go down the inside of many cars, including our teammate. And we're side by side with Yuki Tsunoda going into turn 1. There's now, let's go to the outside, so Tsunoda's going to get us back down the inside. And we're up to P13 now. But now we're struggling for traction here as the tyres just aren't cool enough. We're going to put bias back down to 50. As we now go down into the S section for the first time in the wet, as we're all just in a train now, literally. As now I think one of the Ferraris has got ahead of Max Verstappen, so that might be Charles Leclerc has got ahead of Max Verstappen. But now Albert Aitken is just going to fly past us. This AI OP ERS, it's because they've got like unlimited ERS, so they're just deploying it even in the wet as Aitken flies past us. He goes down the inside of Yuki Tsunoda and Esteban Ocon as well. As now we've got Lance Stroll up the inside of us going into the double right-hander. As now we go into the uphill off-cambered chicane for the first time. It would take a lot of curb. As we now go down onto the back straight, the long back straight. Towards the end of that, we're going to deploy ERS here and see if we can catch up to Yuki Tsunoda, but it's not going to work. We're not quite catching up as we now... yeah, I see the flashback there, which is why it's a bit jumpy. But anyway, now we go down into the final corner to end lap 1. It's Charles Leclerc who leads the way on lap 1. As now we're struggling for traction out the final corner. I'll just deploy ERS, which you don't really want to do in the wet condition, even after the patch has been, even after yesterday's patch that got released. So now, lap 2 now, and we're doing alright. We're keeping Lance Stroll behind us, he's 4 tenths behind us, but now we're going to look at the race start again. So, it was Max Verstappen who started on pole position, and it was Charles Leclerc alongside, but I think Charles Leclerc just got the best reaction time, just got a better reaction time than Max Verstappen, as he's looking up the inside here, and Max Verstappen turns left to take the racing line, but that doesn't help, as Charles Leclerc is now up the inside, went up the inside and is now in the lead, and it looks like everyone's getting a snail pace. To be fair, as Sainz is trying to fend off Sergio Perez, as now we go down into the S section, as this is when Aitken was pressurising us, as now we look at Yuki Tsunoda, and there is us, and there's Jack Aitken right behind us. As you can see, he's so close during the double right, during the long left-hander, and he just gets the traction down, and he flies past us, as you'll see. But it looks like Carlos Sainz. Is Carlos Sainz going to have a look at Max Verstappen going into the twisty bits? I don't think he will. No, he's just going to hang fire. But Charles Leclerc is pulling away. He's got the gap to 6/10 already. And we're just near the end of lap 1. Then we now go on to lap number 5 as Tsunoda has pulled away. We've got a little bit deep there, and that's going to pressurise Hamilton. We've got yellow flag up ahead, and I think is that Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen's pulling off. He's got an engine failure. Max Verstappen is retiring from the race. This is not going to do good for his championship lead. That's going to basically give Charles Leclerc the edge that he needs as George Russell drives into the side of Max Verstappen, but he doesn't have any damage. But Max Verstappen is out of the Miami Grand Prix, and it's only lasted 5 laps. As there's confirmation, as we're now going to get moved back up into P13, and the virtual safety car gets deployed. As I think it's due to the contact between Russell and Verstappen, but I'm not sure. So we've got a VSC deployed. And I have to say, getting the delta perfect was, I had to go so slow. So, but now we're going to move to the end of the virtual safety car. So the safety car is ending as we're positive on the delta, negative on the delta again. But because I take this third gear, I lose it. I literally gain so much on the delta, and we get a drive-through penalty for speeding under VSC, which I don't get, because if I go second gear or first gear, I'm literally going to spin. So the game needs to sort that out, to be fair, because it's just putting it as like what the AI would take it. But we're now going to serve our drive-through penalty at the end of this lap to get that over with. So we're going to pull to the right hand side, we're going to stick to the right, and we're going to go into the pit lane. And I break up what I did in the dry, and I forgot I'm in the wet, so now I've got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. For God's sake, it's Miami Grand Prix could not get any better, any worse, could it? I keep saying that. But we now served our drive-through, but now I've got a 5-second penalty. So, yeah. But anyway, we do get a little nudge on the wall there. It's the invisible wall of Miami. It's come to haunt me. But we didn't get any damage from that, so we get a little moment there, but now move on to lap number 8, as we get a warning for track limits. For literally, as we get replay now, we literally only just went over. I'll put it in slow-mo, and you can see, not all the tyre is over that white line. Which is stupid, to be fair. Like, it looks like it is. So I went into photo mode, and you can see it looks like the rear tyre is over, but it's not. So I went into photo mode, and you can see it's not. There is still a good centimetre or two of the left rear tyre on that white line, and even the front tyre is well on the white line. So I don't know why why the game was giving me a warning for track limits. But we're going to carry on.
And we're still happy that we're on the right tyres.
And now lap 14, we've got some people in the pit lane. So we've got some action in the pit lane.
Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Inters seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
As we get a team radio weather report. As now lap 15, we've got the people coming out of the pit lane. We come out ahead of Lance Stroll in P8. We're now down P18 now. Now, at this point, I was like, oh, I can go to the end, because I have good pace on these inters, and they're not really wearing out that much. But because the setup is so bad, we've got so much understeer, we're not actually putting that much, we're not putting too much thing to the tyres. But end of lap 15 now, going on to lap 16, we've got a couple more people in the pits. We've got Latifi, Vettel, and my teammate, but he's out the pits. So for some reason around Miami, it tells you your teammate is in the pits on pit entry, like it would. But on pit exit, it tells that they're in the pits again. So I don't know. I'll see if it's still a thing after the patch. I could try Miami. since I did this race a week ago before the patch came out yesterday, as I keep saying, but we're up to V15 now. But we still haven't stopped, and we don't actually have to stop. It's not mandatory to change tyres because we're in the wet. But we've got yellow flags again at the final corner, and it's our teammate. He spun it out the final corner, and the safety car is deployed. Now I decided where to pit. We did cross the white line there, but I decided to stay out because now I can get to the end because we had a VSC and a safety car. But my teammate has spun it at the final corner, so that's the second. So that's 2 races in a row. My teammate has deployed the safety car. I may have to, but anyway, we now go on to lap number 17, and this was under the safety car. And Mick Schumacher has pulled off to the left hand side and he's going slow. Bottas has overtaken him, Norris has overtaken him now. Everybody's overtaken him as Mick Schumacher has his engine's gone. His engine has gone up in smokes as he is now out of the race. So he is the second retiree from the Miami Grand Prix. Technically Haas his home race as well, so that's not going to be good for Haas in their home race. But yeah, we now got confirmation of Mick Schumacher out the race, so that is not good for Haas at their first of 2 home races this season. So we're now back up into P13 where we were before the VSC, and I've got the drive-through penalty. But now in lap 19, the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. No, because right up to Ricardo, but Aitken is at the back of the queue. So he has got a lot of work to do. He does, as Jack Aitken. But I think if I pit, we could have been pretty much, we would have been at the back. But knowing that there was a safety car, I don't know. So, but anyway, we get green flags again on lap 20. We now gonna look at Ricardo, are we? But I think there's some side-by-side moments up ahead as the leaders are now pulling away. So there's actually a big gap between the between Haas and McLaren, I think. So it must have been the McLaren and another driver. It must have been McLaren, Lando Norris, and maybe some other drivers going side by side into turn 1. But now all we're going to do is...
No threat of rain for the time being. Conditions look good. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Now, we're going to do a report and then to seem like the best tyre, so we're going to stay on the Inters on the inside as we have. But it did say on the weather forecast that it would dry up by the end of the race, as Alonso's going to send it up the inside, and not only me, but Ricardo as well. As we go into the slow S section, and we go through the double right-hander, and Alonso and Ricardo going side by side, going into the off-camber chicane, as they're going really slowly, as that's going to invite me to the outside of Alonso, but we're going to back out, and we're going to try to get a good run on Alonso coming out of the previous corner, but we just don't get the traction. Well, we do get the traction, but because the AI has such OP traction out of that corner, out of slow speed corners going on to long straights, it just pulls away. But we are going to pull back some time before the end of the straight. I'm going to look to the inside. No, not quite. We're going to back off as Alonso shuts the door. But now, as we go on to lap number 21 now, as we've got...
You're dropping a second a lap to the car behind. 1 second.
We're off in a second quicker or something. I don't know, I didn't see it, but we're in P14 now. We've got yellow flags behind, and I think that's one of the Williams who has spun. Probably Latifi. But now we go on to lap 27. We've got about 4 laps left, or 2 laps left once we cross the line. No, we've got 2 laps left once we cross the line. But Lance Stroll is going to have a look. No, Sebastian Vettel even is going to have a look at us. Lance Stroll will actually go past us. But he's going to go look to the outside. But we're going to cover the inside line and we get back ahead of Sebastian Vettel. But because we have a 5-second penalty as we go a little bit deep, but because we got a 5-second penalty, we're actually going to finish last, it seems, because I was stupid and not to pit. So, to get rid of the 5-second penalty, team radio. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we can't get team radio. But anyways, we now go down into the final corner, as we actually still haven't pit this in this race, which we don't actually have to, but I think we should have pit. It would have been better to pit to get rid of the 5-second time penalty.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected.
Mark is still saying,
not sure whether dries
although
or
now he's saying he's
into
not
the
sure whether
fast
dries or
lap right on the
inters
crossover.
are the best tyre. But we're now going on to the penultimate lap of the race at 28. We're at P15 still. We are holding against Sebastian Vettel, who is 5 tenths behind, but we really need a 5-second gap. But I don't think we're going to get it because our tyres are pretty much gone and Sebastian Vettel going wide. But we should get a better traction, better exit out of the long left-hander, as now we go down the back straight for the second last time. And Vettel, is he going to look to the outside? Yes, he's going to look to the outside. We broke about, it's actually good enough for dries. Actually, oh well, I went a little bit deep there, as I say that, and Vettel's going to get right back past us. Right past us. As now into the Mickey Mouse section, we make a little bit of contact with Sebastian Vettel there, but we now go down the back straight for the penultimate time, as Leclerc is leading this race, and he has already started his final lap of the Miami Grand Prix, and he's set to win it, unless something major happens to him in the final lap. But we're going to look at the inside of Sebastian. We're going down the inside of the hairpin. We make a little bit of contact there, as we do get caught from the curb there, but we do get the traction out of the final corner. We're going to get back past ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Going on to the final lap of the race. As now we go into turn 1 for the final time. Sebastian Vettel's going to look to the inside, but we're going to get the traction up. We're going to get the inside for turn 2. But he's still there, but we're going to cut him off from through turn 3 and turn 4. We're going to get back ahead of him and stay in P15, but we've lost loads of time to the cars in front. As Vettel's going to send it up the inside in his frustration of us cutting him off out of the exit of turn 2, and we make some contact. But he's going to stay in the middle of the track to defend us. DRS, no! DRS has got a neighbours now. Joe Granu and Sebastian Vettel have got again side by side, but Joe Granu had got ahead of Sebastian Vettel, but now the big letterbox on the rear wing is going to open up for Sebastian Vettel and Joe Granu. And they're going to come at me at a rate of knots. We've got no areas to deploy. As we now go down into the Mickey Mouse section, Joe's going to look around the outside. He's going to go for the move around the outside, but we're going to cover the inside line. I'm going to keep P15 as Leclerc wins the Miami Grand Prix. As you can see, him coming around the final corner now. As it's been a flawless race for Leclerc since he got the pressure taken off him by Verstappen retiring all the way back on lap 5, which produced a virtual safety car which we got a drive through on, and then I sped in the pit lane serving that drive through penalty. But Leclerc is going to come around the final corner to win the Miami Grand Prix with it being a Ferrari 1-2 with Carlos Sainz finishing P2 and Sergio Perez finishing P3 with George Russell finishing close behind him in P4. Kevin Magnussen is going to finish in P5, bringing some more points in for Haas, the American team, with Bottas finishing P6, quite close behind him, and now Lando Norris going to finish P7 with Gasly about 6 tenths behind him, with Ocon, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Ricciardo and Stroll finishing P14. But now Joe Granu actually got past us, but we're going to send it down the inside into the final corner on the last lap, and we're going to get the move done back to P15 on track. But with our 5-second penalty, we are going to drop down to the back of the field, and we're going to finish this Miami GP in last place. I really should have done a pit stop, but mistakes have to be made, and that was just a really bad mistake that I made on my behalf, as Fernando Alonso gets driver of the day here in Florida, in Miami, Florida.
Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on track was: speed.
I know it sounds like an awfully reductive statement, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. So let's review the updated driver standings. Charles Leclerc assumes the lead in the standings after today's outstanding result. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
I think it has to be Fernando Alonso. He got the strategy spot on and consistently had the pace to come through as well.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari take the lead at the top of the table. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Right then, so there we go then guys. That's the end of the Miami Grand Prix. And Leclerc picks up the win ahead of Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez running out the podium. Pretty strong showing here from Ferrari here in America. And then after Perez it's Russell, Magnussen, Bottas, Norris, Gasly, Ocon and Hamilton recovering back to P10 to the last points position. Missing out points you got Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Alonso, Stroll, Zhou Guanyu, Aitken, Vettel, Albon, Latifi, myself, my first second penalty, and with Mick Schumacher and Verstappen not make it to the flag. Championship wise, Leclerc now takes the lead over the championship by 2 points after Verstappen's DNF. We move up, Jack Aitken is up to P18 in fact, so he's not last. We stay P15. Constructors wise, we stay P9. And all round it was a pretty good race to be fair. Bit worse than previous round, but rivalry, Lando gets 4 points over our 1, so he's now ahead of, he's now 6-2 up in the rivalry claim. We are now just nearly level 4 as Team Claim will get closer to level 10 so we can unlock our second sponsor. And now we don't get our bonus money and we only get $25,000 because Jack Aitken. But anyway, so that's now 1.54 million. Back in the HQ, we've got sponsorship renewal with PSD, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to look for another sponsor, and I think I'm going to pick. I'm gonna try to pick one that I can do. Highland is to Riddick 5 different. Some of them are rivals, which I'm not going to do. I don't want to touch the rivalry ones. We've got the finished top 12, 1 Constructors Championship points, qualifying P15 better, qualifying P10 or better, complete the single race at Cut Corner, achieve top 14 finish, complete all practice programs, complete a race with no DNFs within the team. Now that sounds like a good one. So we're going to go with In Lovu, and we've stuck that on the car. So now we're going to do activities, we're going to do a funded team event play, and we're going to do the weight training before the thing. We could do team building as well to improve the department morale. As now we'll look for upgrades, and we're going to do a side pod profile upgrade which we're going to rush in before Spain, which is the next race. Hopefully it comes in. But that's all the upgrade that we're going to do. That's the only upgrade we're going to do. So facility, we don't have enough money to spend, so now we're going to advance time and see if the Cyberpod profile comes in, which it does.
Okay, we've
So
had the
that's
new
good.
parts come through the fabrication process.
The 2 rushed
we'll have them with
upgrades
us for
have
the next
come
Grand
through.
Prix.
get the team building, the weight training. The chassis and the powertrain upgrades that were meant to come on before Spain have failed. So, we haven't, but the good thing is we have enough R&D points to repurchase them. The magnetic compound was major, and the monoc, I think they're both majors. Yeah, they're both majors. So they're both going to come on now before Baku. But that is going to be it for today's video. So if you have enjoyed this video, then make sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. But in the meantime, yeah, I think that's how we're good. And when next time out, we're here from Spain. So goodbye.